I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. Just 1 year from the despicable anniversary of Russia's heinous and unlawful invasion of Ukraine, President Biden made a surprise visit to Kyiv. This also coincides with President's Day here in the United States of America. And so with the sirens blaring, signaling possible airstrikes over Kyiv, President Biden, in an active war zone, shook hands with Zelensky's top ministers, as well as the top military officials in Ukraine. This marks the first visit of a United States president to Ukraine since 2008, and a president showing up like Biden did in an active war zone, to me, is the height of courage, the height of bravery, and what the United States of America is all about, which of course means that MAGA Republicans are completely losing their minds. In fact, many MAGA Republicans are now calling for secession. They're calling for a divorce within the United States based on President Biden meeting with Zelensky, supporting our allies abroad, and spreading democracy. Because let's face it, today's MAGA Republican Party supports Vladimir Putin. They hate the United States of America, and they hate our Constitution. So earlier, President Biden tweeted the following statement about his visit to Ukraine. He said, "President Zelensky and all Ukrainians remind the world every day what courage is. They remind us that freedom is priceless and worth fighting for as long as it takes." Marjorie Taylor Greene, one of the now leaders of the Republican Party, which is now the MAGA Republican Party, she responded to Biden and said, "Impeach Biden or give us a national divorce. We don't pay taxes to fund foreign countries' wars who aren't even NATO allies. We aren't sending our sons and daughters to die for foreign borders and foreign democracy. America is broke. Criminal and cartels reign, and you're a fool." Calling President Biden, the commander-in-chief of the United States, who's in an active war zone on President's Day, supporting our allies abroad against the heinous and despicable attack by Russia, an unlawful invasion that threatens us here and threatens democracy abroad. And you have one of the leaders of the Republican Party calling for secession, calling for the impeachment of President Biden, and calling him a fool. Of course, everything that these MAGA Republicans say is complete and utter projection. Marjorie Taylor Greene is the fool. The criminals and cartels are the modern day MAGA Republican Party, and it is the modern day Republican Party that is absolutely broke morally, broke ethically, broke in every single respect. And look, Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't just end there. I mean, she continued the entire day to spread messages calling for secession. Here's another one. This one from her personal account, the other one on her official account. She basically uses them interchangeably. She goes, "We need a national divorce. We need to separate by red states and blue states and shrink the federal government. Everyone I talk to says this," because you talk to traitors. That's why, because you talk to traitors like you, apparently. From the sick and disgusting woke culture issues shoved down our throats to the Democrats' traitorous America's last policies. And you go, look, Marjorie Taylor Greene, try it. Try it. Seriously, try it. Try to secede. You traitors, you and the MAGA Republicans, you say it out loud, try it and see what happens. Try to secede from the United States of America, which is blatantly unlawful, blatantly illegal. You lost the Civil War. You want to redo the Civil War? Is that what you're calling for right now? Well, we're calling to try to make policies to improve the lives of all Americans. This is what you're calling for? How disgusting is it while we're focused on trying to help people get health care and to focus on jobs and help and bring infrastructure here to the United States and improve working conditions, improve the pay that people get, lower prescription drug prices, and yes, protect our allies abroad from the threat of dictators like Vladimir Putin. So yeah, you have this image right here of President Biden, and then you have this image, pull it up right here, of Trump and Kim Jong-un. It should be very easy where the United States of America sides with, which is with President Biden and with our allies, not with ridiculous dictators like Kim Jong-un and Vladimir Putin. And by the way, Marjorie Taylor Greene's messages were echoed throughout the MAGA Republican Party. You have the Fox propaganda. I mean, after being exposed, of course, for intentionally spreading election disinformation, we have their text messages. What does Kevin McCarthy do? Kevin McCarthy, rather than release the January 6th video surveillance, if you're going to release it publicly, you give it to Tucker Carlson. You give it to the fascist Tucker Carlson. How despicable are these people? And by the way, here you got Fox Propaganda saying GOP lawmakers slam Biden for Ukraine trip, neglecting East Palestine southern border. They can keep them, citing MAGA Republicans. President Biden wanted to support East Palestine immediately. You have a Republican governor in Ohio who said in press conferences, I'm not returning Biden's calls. I'm not taking his phone calls right now. We don't think we need it. Then when he finally needed it, he said, look, Biden said to me, whatever you want, we will give you. So yes, the arsonists who don't just create the fire, but the arsonists who then destroy the fire stations, then want to say, oh, what's going on here? It's because the MAGA Republicans are complete and total traitors. They hate America. And on a historic day where President Biden is out there in Ukraine, in a war zone, fighting for our freedoms abroad, something we should all rally around, you got the MAGA Republicans in full effect doing Putin propaganda, and I'm freaking pissed off about it. I am angry about it. This is something we should all be rallying around as Americans. And the fact that we have a traitor, treasonous Republican Party saying that they want to secede because of the fact that President Biden's supporting our allies in Ukraine against Vladimir Putin. Are you kidding me? And then we got to deal with the Trump grifter kids. Oh, we got Don Jr. What does Don Jr. want to say? Of course, Joe Biden is in Ukraine and not Ohio, because screw Americans. Screw you, Don Jr. Screw you, traitorous piece of crap that you are. You want to support Vladimir Putin. You want to support the destruction of our democracy. You do those stupid videos where you shake your hand. Screw you who hates America. Screw you, MAGA Republicans who hate America and want to spread Putin propaganda. Utterly, utterly despicable. And then you got Ron DeSantis, who's too afraid now to show up at CPAC, but he's now in Staten Island in front of a crowd of 200 people. He's asked by Fox, well, what do you think about Biden out there? And this was DeSantis's response. Play the clip.
Things first, on the president's unannounced visit, is this a good move?
Well, you know, Brian, I'm reminded of when he was vice president. Obama and Biden opposed providing lethal aid to Ukraine during those years. And then I'm also reminded that I don't think any of this would have happened but for the weakness that the president showed during his first year in office, culminating, of course, in the disastrous withdrawal in Afghanistan. So I think while he's over there, I think I and many Americans are thinking to ourselves, okay, he's very concerned about those borders halfway around the world. He's not done anything to secure our own border here at home. We've had millions and millions of people pour in, tens of thousands of Americans dead because of fentanyl. And then, of course, we just suffered a national humiliation of having China fly a spy balloon clear across the continental United States. So we have a lot of problems accumulating here in our own country that he is neglecting.
Okay, DeSantis would be equally as much of a disaster as Donald Trump. This whole Republican Party needs to go. A bunch of MAGA, weirdo, fascist traitors who hate America, who hates our Constitution, and would support Vladimir Putin. Look, as Tim Miller put it, this is what Tim Miller said. I think he said it great. Here's the first look at the DeSantis foreign policy. Blame U.S. for Russia's invasion of Ukraine, attack U.S. president while in a war zone, signals we should dial back support for Ukraine, minimize Russia threat, anti-Afghanistan withdrawal, bellicose talk with China. I mean, that's what DeSantis is. But to be a MAGA Republican today, you've got to be traitorous. But let's focus on the good now for a second. Let's focus on this one thing. thing. Josh Hawley has the nerve to respond. No time to visit East Palestine, Ohio, but plenty of time for this. Plenty of that. That's their talking point that they're doing, that they create the crisis. They roll back the regulations that lead to what happens in East Palestine. Biden offers to give all of the support that he can give. The Republican governor refuses the support, and then they whine like the little fascist babies that they are. That's their go-to move. You think Americans don't realize it? Maybe Americans from a few years ago when your propaganda could spread, but not anymore. Josh Hawley, let's just play this clip of you running back and forth through the hills, through Capitol Hill, like the little traitor that you are after you put your fist up and cheered on the insurrectionists. So while President Biden, here, let's play this clip first. This is you running away from the insurrectionists who you inspired, like the coward that you are. Play this. And here's the clip of President Biden walking in to a war zone with the sirens blaring in the air with President Zelensky. Play this clip. And here's what President Biden had to say. This is what is going on in the land of normalcy. President Biden says, Putin thought Ukraine was weak and the West was divided. He thought he could outlast us. He was just plain wrong. 1 year later, we stand together, united with the people of Ukraine. Here's another post from President Biden. 1 year later, Kyiv stands, Ukraine stands, democracy stands, America and the world stands with Ukraine. He goes on to say, as we approach the anniversary of Russia's brutal invasion of Ukraine, I'm in Kyiv today to meet with President Zelensky and reaffirm our unwavering commitment to Ukraine's democracy, sovereignty, and territorial integrity. When Putin launched his invasion nearly 1 year ago, he thought Ukraine was weak and the West was divided. He thought he could outlast us, but he was dead wrong. Over the last year, the United States has built a coalition of nations from the Atlantic to the Pacific to help defend Ukraine with unprecedented military, economic, and humanitarian support, and that support will endure. I'm so proud to have a president like Biden. Do I agree with President Biden on every issue? No. Do I disagree with Democrats on a lot of issues? Yes. They are adults in the room. They understand the stakes. This MAGA, performative, fascism, pro-Putin stuff, it makes me really angry. I mean, you see the emotions as I'm doing the video and as I'm talking about it, because to have a major political party, the Republican Party, now the MAGA Republican Party, that's trying to destroy America for Vladimir Putin from within, and they spread this propaganda. There are things that we should all rally around. And to have such traitors here, led by the biggest traitor of them all, Donald Trump, and whether it's traitor, coward DeSantis, or traitor Marjorie traitor Greene, or these Lauren Boeberts and the Gosars and the idiot Trump adult children. I mean, come on, people, come on. The stakes are real. The stakes are real. This isn't some performance. This isn't funny. This is life or death, what we're talking about. And these MAGA Republicans want the worst for us. We got to band together. We got to stay together. We got to call them out at each and every turn. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1 million subscribers thanks to your support. Thank you so much for your support. We're marching to 1 million subscribers, so please hit the subscribe button right now. And in addition, check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. We have a lot of exclusive content there that I know you will enjoy, but most importantly, it helps grow this platform. And check out Killing County on Hulu when you can. I executive produced it with Colin Kaepernick. I think you will find it illuminating. Until next time, I'm Ben Meiselas.
Our blue wall stopped the red wave and election deniers got denied election. That's why we're celebrating with the new Democracy Prevails team. We've got lots of work to do, but we should all be proud that when democracy was tested, democracy prevailed. You've earned this. Don't wait. Get yours right now at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.